it wasn't until our 4th cruise that we figured out we needed to do this. Hi everybody, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Steve.
And we are
Hooked on Cruising.
So it wasn't until after we booked our 4th cruise that we realized we needed to do this from this point forward. And that was take a look at where our cabin is before we booked the cruise. So what happened was we booked the cruise. We were all excited. Our daughter was coming with us. Got off to film at Carnival. And then I thought, oh my gosh, where's our room located? So got online. As we've stated before, we've just cruised with Carnival up to this point. We are looking at other cruise lines right now, but we're creatures of habit. So once you get comfortable with a cruise line, you keep going with them. So anyways, Carnival has a spot on their website that you can go and look at your ship's deck plans. So you can print them out. So here's a deck plan of the Carnival Celebration that we are going to be on next month. And you can go and look and see, like once you go through the booking stages of Carnival, it gives you room numbers to choose from. So you can then go on the PDF and see where your room is located. So we wanted you guys to be aware of always look for what is above and what is below. And that was our issue for that cruise we booked, was the lounge was just below our room. So once we figured that out, called them back up. It was probably like within the hour I called, they were able to move us down a little bit. I forget how many rooms it was. Probably at least a dozen, maybe something like that.
I think 4 or 5 rooms.
Yeah. So, but put us down a little further. There's no price changes or anything. So, you know, you have to be wary of that. And if you do that and you find your room somewhere else and you want to go to a different deck or whatever, it could end up costing you. So anyways, we were able to move and it was perfect. The one thing we did notice when we were on that cruise, when we were walking back to our room, we could actually feel the thumping from the lounge just below. So you could just hear it just as we were walking by. So we're like, okay, from this point forward, we got to always make sure we take a look at what's above and what's below. So, you know, some of the things to look out for is the Lido deck. They've got parties going on. They've got, you know, things going all day long. You might hear early in the morning the chairs scraping, or during the day the chairs scraping. Even at night, the crew moves them all out of the way to, you know, clean the deck and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, you could hear chairs scraping.
If you're midship below Lido.
Yeah. So just make sure, you know, if you're interior right under the Lido, you might end up hearing stuff. And this is if you're, you know, a light sleeper. So if you're in a balcony, you're probably okay. You won't necessarily hear anything. But yeah, just be aware of that. And if you're below the galley or even above, I'm not sure if there's issues above, but I've seen a lot of people talk about being underneath the galley, the kitchen where they make all the food, and there's, you know, hundreds of crew that are in and out of there all day long, pushing carts, all those sort of things. So again, just, you know, if you're a light sleeper, you might not want to be right under there. I'm the light sleeper in this relationship. He can pretty much sleep through anything. So, yeah, if you need to wear earplugs or something like that to get rid of the noise, and then just for future reference, watch where you're going. The other one is probably, you know, below the lounges, above or below, depending where you are on the ship.
The other one we ran into on our last cruise was we ended up being on one of the higher decks, but we were right beneath the gym. And you'd think that, in particular at night, that shouldn't be necessarily a big issue because they do actually typically close down during evening hours. But apparently either some of the crew or something else was going on, and we were hearing weights dropping at 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
5:30 in the morning.
And then starting, you know, around 6 o'clock to 6:30 in the morning. We could hear the treadmills going. So there was a variety of stuff going on in the gym. And again, depending upon where that happens to be on the ship, it's worth, you know, taking a look at that. Like on the Celebration, that's on one of the lower decks. So that's one where you need to give some consideration to that as well. is that in relation to where your room is,
Right.
to figure out whether that might be something that would bother you.
Yeah. And we had looked and we had seen that it was right below the fitness center, but we're like, as the maps line up a little bit online, sometimes it's, not really accurate. So we're like, well, we're just going to be on the cusp of it. We're not sure. Those were the only rooms that were left, and we were going with family members, and they were side by side, and that was the only two. We booked it like a month before we're sailing, so there really wasn't much rooms left, and we wanted to be on the same deck. So we took our chances. It wasn't that bad, but it did cause a little bit of disruption in the sleep. So we just wanted you guys to be aware of that. I know, like I said, it was our 4th cruise before we realized that, hey, we need to be looking what's above and below. So for those that haven't cruised as much, first time cruisers, yeah, this is something just to be aware of. So, because it wasn't until, you're first time cruiser, you're just excited to be there. There's so much to look at and watch. You're not even thinking about where my room is, really, so.
And nobody likes noisy neighbors. And this is one of those issues where it's not just the neighbors beside you. It could be someone across the hall, which, again, you don't have any control over.
Right.
But you also need to worry about both up and down.
Yeah. So
what's in your vicinity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So we just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that, and hopefully that helps you wherever your room is. Like I said, it's not something you can't live with if you end up, having a little bit of noise and stuff. But we typically do we love the upper decks. We like being up high, especially Lido. That's our favorite deck to be on, just to be able to, zip in and zip out of your room. So we always make sure too, we're not near elevators. You get a lot of noisy people coming in and out at night, but I've seen people that they go by the elevators all the time. It's so convenient for them, and they don't hear any noise. So, each cruise is different, the different people on at different times. So anyways, we hope that this helps you wherever you do, and just, enjoy your cruises. And we hope that you get hooked on cruising too, like we are. So I think that is about it for now. If you would subscribe to our channel to keep notified of whenever we do post videos on all things cruising, try and bring everything to you guys. That would be great if you could subscribe to us. So until next time, we will see you later.